So, Mr. Jones, it's really nice to meet you in person after talking to you a number of times by phone. And what we wanted to get together to talk today about was that your interest in restarting your relationship with your daughter, Jennfier.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm really excited and interested in talking to you about why you might be able to do this. But maybe we'll start with when you think about getting back with Jennfier, and you probably have some picture or ideas in your head about what it would be like. Can you tell me what you're imagining or thinking might happen the first time you see Jennfier? Or
I don't know. I want to see her and picture it as, the amazing Disneyland type thing, but I don't. It's been 2 years since I saw. I don't even know if she'll remember who I am. It's just something that I want, just to be with her again.
That's great that you really want to be with her again. And I also really have to say, great insight that she probably doesn't have a real strong memory of you. What we understand about kids who are 4 years old is they probably, since you're around for first couple of years of her life, pretty regularly, living with her, she probably has some really vague memories. But can you remember anything when you were 2 years old?
I can't remember.
Right, most of us can't. But it doesn't mean you have, we're trying to understand children's brains, that there's a type of memory they probably have, but it's not that heavy, like what we call cognitive memory. I can remember me and my daddy going to the park, for example. She probably doesn't have any of those type of memories. So when she first sees you, you may be like a total stranger to her.
Mm-hmm.
What would that feel like to you if you walked into the room and instead of running to you and saying daddy or whatever, she actually acts maybe afraid of you?
It's going to be hard because that's my daughter,
Right.
But I understand. I don't know. I'm a little fearful of that situation.
Sure. Okay. Well, I mean, that's what I want to work out, is to really think about how would we help you start that relationship again.
Mm-hmm.
And part of doing that is to think about, what do you imagine that relationship growing to? We have the first visit, and we help you with that visit. It probably won't be lots of hugs and kisses and stuff, but you could begin to start developing that relationship. But let's say it's several months down the road. You've been having that relationship slowly grow. You're spending more and more time with her. She's really starting to recognize you as daddy again and stuff like that. What are you imagining it's going to be like? How frequently are you going to see her? What will be your daddy role that you're hoping to play in her life?
Well, I don't know if I could be daddy. I've got a lot going on in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
I live out of state now just for the same situation, to stay sober. But just being able to talk to her and visit her, every now and then would be great. Be there for those first day of school and other big moments type of stuff. But I can't be up here or...
So you're imagining, if everything goes well, she still may be with her foster parents, and you're visiting her. How frequently might you come, since you live out of state?
I just started this new job, and it's
Okay.
going really well, and I need to keep it. Maybe once every other month.
Okay. And when you're not visiting her face-to-face, do you have any other ideas how you might have contact with her?
Would it be okay to call the foster parents?
It's possible. Okay.
I would try to do that.
Okay. What we want to figure out is how to make this work for Jennfier.
Okay.
So if you can imagine when you're 4 years old, can you remember anything when you were 4?
Not really.
Okay. So that's the same problem. Better than when they're 2, but the memories don't last a really long time. So if you go every 2 months, that's a long time, pretty long time for a 4-year-old. So we want to think about how frequently would she need to see you, have contact with you, that would really be helpful for Jennfier. Right? And what type of contact? What would you do on those visits? And the big part of it would be is how would you work with the foster parents to be part of the whole family life without it disrupting? Because you can imagine that they'd have a lot of questions about what's Mr. Jones going to do. Does he want to take Jennfier? Is it going to be upsetting to Jennfier to see him, or confusing to Jennfier that she's got, two daddies? I think we can work it out, but there's a lot of things to work out like that.
Yeah. How long do you think it'll be scary for her to see me?
That's a good question. What we find that the kids need is some time, and fairly frequent at first, to kind of reestablish who you are. Can you think back maybe like when you were first grade, and it was the beginning of the school year? How long did it feel like until Halloween?
A really long time.
A really long time. So about 2 months in real life, right?
Yes.
So she's even younger than a first grader. So going 2 months in between, if we don't do a lot of other things, that's going to probably be really hard for her to figure out what, is my daddy ever coming back again? So she might have that question since you did disappear for a while in her life.
I just had to at that time.
I understand that, though. But I'm an adult and she's not, so we have to think through those things. So if I gave you that magic wand, and it's a year from now, and she's 5 years old, and maybe it's the first day of kindergarten, let's say, just for the sake, we're not sure, but let's say she's still with the same foster parents. You said you'd like to be involved with something like that the first day of school. Could you tell me what that day might look like?
I mean, maybe I'll have my job in order a little bit better, and would be able to come up here for a couple days, and maybe be the one who walks her into the school, if the foster parents let me, and maybe pick her up and talk to her about her day.
Okay.
See if she made new friends, or I don't know what 5-year-olds like to do. So
That's the right question. Not only you don't know what 5-year-olds, but you want to, between now and a year from now, you'd want to know enough about Jennfier that, that first day at school is scary, and she's going to want to be with somebody she loves and trusts. So if we can get that, so she loves and trusts her foster parents, and she loves and trusts her daddy, and so maybe you'll be that person that day, or maybe it'll be other days, but that she would want to turn to you and say, put her hand in yours or whatever, and say, not necessarily out loud, I love you, I trust you when I need help. But that's going to take us some time to build that relationship between you and your daughter again.
Okay.
Are you willing to do that?
Yeah. Scary, but yes.
It's scary, but that's our job to help you do that, and do it in a way that's going to really help Jennfier.